Whitaker. Congratulations on your nomination and your willingness to take what is truly a challenging job. So we appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Whitaker, as Michigan Senator, I have the privilege of representing 9 rural airports that are served by Essential Air Service program. That is the most of any state in the lower 48. And many of those airports are in northern Michigan and the Upper Peninsula and host only a couple of round trips per day. In fact, I'm going to take one of those aircraft on Friday up to one of those northern Michigan cities that is serviced through EAS. The proposed Senate FAA reauthorization bill this year includes a provision that I championed that would hold airlines accountable when they break their contracts with these small communities who rely on them for service. It's absolutely essential that they continue to get this service. And under the proposed new EAS rules, it would be harder for airlines to terminate contracts early, and the Department of Transportation would be empowered to penalize airlines that abandon these EAS communities. I believe this is essential to preventing uncertainty and lapses in services in communities like Houghton, Michigan, which experienced this very issue last year. So my question for you, sir, is if confirmed, will you work with Congress to protect the Essential Air Service program and hold airlines accountable to the communities that they serve in rural areas, not just in my state, but all across the country?
Yes, sir. I believe that the EAS program and our network of smaller airports is really key to our system, and I will work with you to support the appropriate safety mechanisms and infrastructure in those airports, and then work with DOT on administrating the EAS program.
Good, thank you. Mr. Whitaker, Gerald R. Ford International Airport in Grand Rapids, Michigan is Michigan's second largest airport. It sees well over 200 aircraft operations each and every day, and it serves a very rapidly growing part of our state as well. However, even as Grand Rapids serves record numbers of passengers, it's been stymied in its efforts to expand and modernize because of a 60-year-old FAA air traffic control tower that the agency has not acted to replace. And that's why last year I secured $5 million in congressionally directed spending for the airport to begin the design process to replace the tower, but clearly the job's not done yet. My question for you is, will you commit to working with me and the Grand Rapids Airport to ensure that there's a plan to replace their tower in a timely fashion, if confirmed?
Yes, sir, I will.
Well, thank you. I have also long advocated for the FAA to transition away from the use of toxic PFAS containing firefighting foams. Last year, President Biden signed into law my Preventing PFAS Runoff at Airports Act, which will allow airports to purchase the equipment they need to test their firefighting response without discharging toxic PFAS chemicals. This year, the proposed FAA reauthorization bill includes provisions that I champion to ensure a quick transition to these new non-PFAS firefighting foam alongside financial resources for airports to make that transition. Michigan airports continue to lead the way on this issue, but they need a strong partner in the FAA to fully transition away from the use of these chemicals to protect our communities, to protect their firefighters from contamination. So if confirmed, I'd like to certainly get your commitment to work with airports to end the use of PFAS in aviation and your thoughts generally on this challenge.
Thank you, Senator. I'm new to the issue, but I understand the FAA has been doing work following the DoD guidance on transitioning from the fluorine-free foams and also looking for new forms of product to fight fires effectively. So we will continue to have that engagement with you.
Great, thank you. Mr. Whitaker, in your questionnaire, you said one of your top 3 priorities is rebuilding the FAA workforce for the future. And I certainly agree that our focus must be on building a robust workforce of air traffic controllers, pilots, maintenance technicians, aviation engineers, and other workers. I also believe we can't meet this goal without doing more to recruit and retain women in these fields. Currently, 5% of airline pilots are women, and even fewer serve in the other aviation fields. I've heard directly from a Michigander who served on the FAA's Women in Aviation Advisory Board, Callie Yost, about the work the board did to direct FAA industry and congressional action to support women in industry. And that's why I introduced the Promoting Women in Aviation Act, and I'm fighting to have it included in the FAA reauthorization package. Can you speak to the importance of building a strong aviation workforce pipeline and finding ways to recruit and retain women in these critical positions?
I think casting as broad a net as we can and making it as inclusive as possible is necessary. We need a lot of folks to have interest in aviation and all those jobs you've mentioned, so I do support that.
Great. Thank you, Madam Chair.